Hello everybody, my name's Bianca and this is my first ever YouTube video. Now, I've been wanting to make YouTube videos for a really long time, but I've only just got around to it. And to be honest, I feel a little bit silly just talking straight to a camera like this because I've never done anything like this before. Apart from briefly in photography in year 13 where I had to make a video kind of like this, but that was the only time. Anyway, I'm most interested in making booktube videos, so I thought for my first ever video I'd make you a little bookshelf tour of my bookshelf so you can know what kind of books I'm into and if we're into the same sort of things. So here we go! Okay, so here's my bookcase in its entirety. I'm going to start right from the top and work my way down to the bottom right hand corner. Okay, so here we have my Thesaurus and Perfect Punctuation book, along with a cactus, a Sam Winchester pop vinyl character, the Encyclopedia of Early Earth, and a copy of Midsummer Night's Dream. I also have my Kindle up here, along with some bookmarks just there, a koala my dad got me from Australia, and a card and some audio books on some CDs that my gran gave me. They're of classic books and I find it easier to listen to classics sometimes rather than just reading them. A Street Cat Named Bob by James Bowen. I've read this, but I haven't read the second one, The World According to Bob, which I would definitely be reading as soon as possible. Not That Kind of Girl by Lena Dunham. I'm not entirely sure if that's how you pronounce her name, but I definitely want to read this soon and I've only just bought it. Robert Graves' Goodbye to All That. I haven't read this either. The Diary of Anne Frank. I read this when I was about 13 and I really enjoyed it and I definitely want to reread this one. Miranda Hart, Is It Just Me? Guilty pleasure. I absolutely love Miranda and this was an amazing book. Gok Wan, Through Thick and Thin. And I loved this and it's actually a signed copy too. P.S. I Love You by Cecilia Ahern. This Is How It Ends by Kathleen McMahon. You Had Me at Hello by Mahari McFarlane. I have no idea how to pronounce it. Secret Life of Bees by Sue Monk Kidd. Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. One Day by David Nichol. Lone Wolf by Jodi Picoult. Mercy by Jodi Picoult, which I've kind of been reading since July, but I don't really like it very much, so I've given up. My Sister's Keeper. The Devil Wears Prada by Lauren Weisberger. Is that how you pronounce her name? I have no idea. I'm going to give up with saying the authors' names because I'm absolutely slaughtering this, so Wanda. The Complete Narnia Collection. The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte. Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. The Great Gatsby by F. Scott Fitzgerald. Lord of the Flies by William Golding. To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. On to my second shelf. The Complete Novels by George Orwell. The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath. 12 Plays by William Shakespeare. Othello. The Tempest. Revolutionary Road by Richard Yates. I Am Pasheen the Cat. Ghost World. Blue is the Warmest Colour. Sex Criminals. The first Scott Pilgrim graphic novel. I really need to get the rest of these because it's embarrassing that I only have the first one. A couple of cookery books are here, but I'm sure nobody's really interested in that. Poppy's War by Lily Baxter. I don't know if I can really get the motivation to read this because a friend read it and she said it wasn't particularly good. Journey's End by R.C. Sheriff. The Last Telegram. A book about the women's suffrage movement. The Book Thief, which I really need to read. I'm embarrassed that I haven't read this either. The 100-Year-Old Man Who Climbed Out of the Window and Disappeared. I really didn't like this book very much at all. An Idiot Abroad. The Complete Poems of John Keats. Love and Misadventure. Enduring Love by Ian McEwan. The Kite Runner. A Week in December by Sebastian Faulks. Angels and Demons by Dan Brown. Gone Girl. Memoirs of a Geisha. Carrie by Stephen King. Before I Go to Sleep by S.J. Watson. And a collection of Mallory Blackman books which I absolutely adore. On to my next shelf. And here we're getting on to some more tween fiction that I just can't bear to throw away. So we've got The Princess Diaries, and the rest of them are on my Kindle. Goddess of the Sea by P.C. Cast. Most of the Morganville vampire books, and the rest are on my Kindle. I'm not ashamed. I love these books. And I hate that this one doesn't match. The Perks of Being a Wallflower, Stolen by Lucy Christopher. Two of the Mortal Instruments books. I've read City of Bones, but I haven't read the others, and I really need to, but I just lost a bit of motivation when I started reading them in 2013, and I haven't quite picked it up again, but I definitely want to finish reading them this year. Of course, The Fault in Our Stars by John Green, Let It Snow, Looking for Alaska, Paper Towns, Will Grayson, which I actually liked a lot more than most of John Green's books, mainly because David Levithan was half writing it. The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, which I cannot wait to start reading. The Unbecoming of Mara Dyer, which, along with most of this bookshelf, is also on my TBR. Every Day by David Levithan, We Were Liars by E. Lockhart. The first book in the Lunar Chronicles Cinder, and oh my god, I cannot wait to start reading this. I can't even handle my excitement for this and the next books that are going to be released this year, but I can't believe I haven't read it yet. And of course, the Twilight books, which have continued onto the next shelf. Breaking Dawn by Stephanie Meyer, of course. Lola and the Boy Next Door, I have Anna on my Kindle. My True Love Gave to Me, Severed Heads, Broken Hearts. I believe this has a different name now, but I'm not sure because I got this in August, I think, of 2013. And I'm not sure, but it's by Robin Schneider. Attachments by Rainbow Rowell, Eleanor and Park by Rainbow Rowell, which is one of my absolute favourite books. Fangirl, which is one of my least favourite books. Sorry, I just really can't stand it. Across the Universe by Beth Revis, which is another one on my TBR which I absolutely cannot wait to read. The Catcher in the Rye, The Lovely Bones. The Geography of You and Me, which was kind of naff, but I still really liked it because it's got that New York City vibe. The Casual Vacancy by J.K. Rowling. I'm not going to bother taking them all out, but all of the Harry Potters, of course. The Tales of Beedle the Bard, Bobby Singer's Guide to Hunting. I really did actually like this book. I don't usually like fan book sort of thing, but David Reed, the author, actually worked within the Supernatural TV programme, so it's a lot better than you'd think. And finally, one of the best books I actually own is The Complete Grimm's Fairy Tales, which I got this Christmas from my dad, and I absolutely adore this copy of this book. Okay, so there you have it. That was my bookshelf tour, and I hope it was relatively enjoyable and not too tedious. I tried to cut it down and be as short and quick as humanly possible, which I'm not sure it was, but I really did try. An awful lot of that is on my TBR, which you can find at my Goodreads, which I'll link below, and follow me on Twitter too. Also like this video if you're interested and like me to carry on making booktube videos, and I'd be more than happy to. Thank you for watching. Bye!